Nobody wins when the family feels.
New tonight, the Harris County Sheriff's Office confirming less than 4 hours ago that one of its detention officers is facing a capital murder charge. Houston police say Jarrell Wheeler killed Otis Parker Jr. on Selinsky Road back in May. Wheeler was arrested yesterday. He's being held on a $350,000 bond. The Sheriff's Office says he's been relieved of duty and is cooperating with the investigation. Investigators also looking for these three suspects: Jamal Brown, Quintiana Taylor, and Mariah Green. They say they are also charged with capital murder. The motive is unknown.
Eric, Jarrell Wheeler was arrested here at work yesterday afternoon and then taken to be booked into jail just across the street. Court documents show that he left work early the day Houston police say he and three others planned to rob a pimp for cash.
Nuetina family is desperate for answers after a mother disappeared after work 5 days ago.
And her family fears something may have happened to her. They say it is just not like her to leave her 4-year-old son. They're talking to our Matt Doherty tonight. Matt?
Yeah, I spoke with the manager of the club a little more than an hour ago. He tells me that they warn the women not to go home with any of the men they meet at the bar.
He just leaves.
Well, her family tells me they aren't sure the cases are connected. Ford is the main witness in a capital murder case involving a former detention officer, Jarrell Wheeler. Wheeler and three others were charged with capital murder in connection to the death of Otis Parker in May. According to court documents, the murder was a planned robbery stemming from $1,500 that Ford and another dancer made visiting clients in Louisiana.
Fam, I know that was a long intro, but it's a lot of moving pieces, and I think it's imperative that we all stay on track. I had to look over this information about 4 to 5 times to say the least. This is Deandra Ford. She's missing. It's going on about a week now. This week, missing flyers and photos has been surfacing online. But just 4 months ago, her mugshot was as well. She was with a man who ended up getting gunned down. Now, I later found out that that man was allegedly a P.I.M.P. He ended up taking money from some of his females after they was dancing at a venue we'll later discuss. Now, one thing led to another. A sheriff correctional officer was held responsible for robbing him and taking his life. Now, it seems a female is the middle person in all this. This same Deandra was a witness in that case after cooperating. But we gotta make this a note right now. She wouldn't just be cooperating with the correctional officer, aka the sheriff, we'll later elaborate on, but also the dancers, the other people who was his workers, because apparently this was a plot from the dance money. So God knows how many people were involved. That clip at the very beginning was someone from Louisiana claiming that P.I.M.P. was the love of her life. So as you can see, even without all the allegations he had on his name, he still had public love for females. Now, far as Deandra, she's still missing. But what we do know, she was in the vehicle allegedly with the P.I.M.P. the day he lost his life and was robbed. And also, she was in a white van, which you'll later find out authorities played her parents for about an hour outside her club that she worked at before she went missing. Now, the only thing we know as a fact is that she got in both of those vehicles from that venue. Now, We don't know if they connected. We don't know if it was just work related, but what we do know, she's now missing. Now, as we discuss this story, these are the possible motives that I want you guys to let me know at the conclusion. This young woman could be kidnapped separate from the situation where she's testifying in. This could be retaliation before she actually testified. She could possibly ran away from not doing it. All this is still in the air, as she, one, is still missing, and two, supposed to testify in an M1. So before we break this one down, remember, I don't give you no angle, I just give you the story. So with that being said, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We're gonna jump right to it. Family, this Otis Keith Parker Jr. He lost his life May 18th, 2023. May he rest in peace, and loving condolences to his family. And the person who was allegedly held responsible for pulling the trigger was Gerald Wheeler, 21 years old. He was a Harris County Sheriff Office detention officer charged with capital M. 3 others was wanted at the time. According to Gerald's indictment, he was charged with capital M and aggravated assault with a deadly weapon for his alleged role in the setup to rob and take out the life of Otis back in May. And the main witness in this case was DeAndre. The preliminary investigation has stated that all this stemmed from the $1,300 that Otis took from his workers, as he was mentioned as a P.I.M.P. The money was robbed back after the girls had mentioned that to one of their clients, or someone they knew, who happens to be Gerald.
Tonight, a Harris County detention officer is now in jail as an inmate charged with capital murder. Gerald Wheeler was arrested yesterday afternoon, and to the transport in jail, his cell there was a short one. ABC 13 reporter Jessica Willey live with the response from the sheriff's office. Jessica.
Yeah, Eric, Gerald Wheeler was arrested here at work yesterday afternoon and then taken to be booked into jail just across the street. Court documents show that he left work early the day Houston police say he and 3 others planned to rob a pimp for cash.
We're going to do Wheeler. We're going to do Gerald Wheeler. Not present.
Gerald Wheeler waived his right to an appearance in probable cause court last night, just a few hours separated from being on the other side of the law. The 21-year-old Harris County detention officer was arrested just before his shift at the Harris County Jail on Thursday for his role, Houston police say, in the capital murder of Otis Keith Parker in May.
The defendant and his 3 co-defendants ambushed the complainant.
According to court records, the murder was the result of a setup involving Wheeler, Jamal Brown, Quitiana Taylor, and Mariah Green to rob Parker of at least $1,500 in cash. It happened on Selinsky in southeast Houston. Parker was behind the wheel of the black Hyundai when he was shot to death after driving Taylor and another woman home from Baton Rouge with the cash the women made from dancing, records state. There was planning and a flurry of text messages, some from Wheeler while he was on the job at the jail. Records say he texted one of the accomplices asking, quote, if he got a tool, also texting, quote, because I'm taking everything from everybody. Records say he left his shift at the jail early to be at the apartment complex for the alleged ambush. Brown was the trigger man. The 2 women fled after the shooting. In response to the arrest, the Harris County Sheriff's Office told ABC 13 they are aware of the arrest of Jarrell Tavon Wheeler, who has been relieved of duty. Wheeler was hired as a detention officer on December 6, 2021, and they are in full cooperation with the ongoing investigation.
The defendant and
all 4 suspects have been charged with capital murder and aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Bond for Wheeler is a total of $350,000. The remaining 3 have warrants out for their arrests. Jessica Willey, ABC.
Now, that arrest happened at the end of June. And even though DeAndre is a state witness, she still went to the same working environment to make her money. Fast forward 3 going on 4 months later, reports coming out of Houston that a bikini bar waitress went missing after hitching ride in stranger's van. The waitress happened to be DeAndre Ford, who was last seen leaving Diva's Bikini Sports Bar and Grill in the early hours of September 22nd and getting into a white van with the man she had been seen talking to at the establishment. Surveillance footage caught the van driving away from the bar around 2:30 a.m., according to the Houston Police Department. Ford Ford called a friend about a half an hour earlier, but they were asleep and they did not get a call after.
New Atlanta family is desperate for answers after a mother disappeared after work 5 days ago.
And her family fears something may have happened to her. They say it is just not like her to leave her 4-year-old son. They're talking to our Matt Doherty tonight. Matt?
Yeah, I spoke with the manager of the club a little more than an hour ago. He tells me that they warn the women not to go home with any of the men they meet at the bar. The family members say 21-year-old DeAndrea Ford had only worked as a dancer here at Diva's Bikini Sports Bar and Grill for a few weeks. It's the last place anyone saw her.
If anyone has her, that they release her and let her come home. We just want her home.
Tonight, her family is pleading for help. They say they knew something was wrong when DeAndrea went days without contacting her 4-year-old son.
I'm confident that something's not right. This is not her normal behavior.
Family members say the club showed them surveillance video from that night. Tonight, the club's manager says the video has been turned over to police. Family says it showed DeAndrea leaving with a man, getting into his van in the parking lot after the club closed. They stay there for more than an hour.
Well, she entered the vehicle with him. Whether she left, with him willingly or unwillingly, that's something that we can't answer.
After that, her family says one of her friends got a missed call from DeAndrea at about 2 o'clock Friday morning. By later that day, family members say DeAndrea's phone had been turned off and their calls went straight to voicemail. They say it's been off ever since.
Her phone has not been powered back on. There's been no reception or no direct contact with her.
Houston police say this is an active investigation. If you have any information, you're asked to give them a call.
Now, as you can see, at that time, there was no mention that she was a state witness. But as time would go on, DeAndrea would still not be seen, or at least her body. They would put the pieces together, and more information will come out from the public that she is a state witness.
Since a 21-year-old mother has been missing after leaving her job on the east side. In new developments tonight, we have learned she is the main witness in a capital murder case involving a detention officer. ABC 13's Brooke Taylor spoke to her family and looked into whether officials believe the cases are connected. Brooke?
Erica, her family tells me it's really unlike her to disappear, especially because she has a 4-year-old son that they say she would have definitely been checking in on.
I just hope she's alive.
This family says that hope is all they have to hold on to right now. DeAndrea Ford was last seen on September 22nd, leaving Diva's Bikini Bar and Grill on the East Freeway in Centerwood Drive where she works. Police say she was seen on surveillance footage with a man in a white van in the early hours. HPD hasn't shared that video, but Ford's uncle has seen it and gave it to police.
We were able to see her interacting with looks to be a Hispanic individual, a male. They were having drinks. He was buying her drinks. There were other females inside of the establishment as well who were interacting with him, who seemed to have known him. Then, there's also the footage that I have of them sitting in a van for about maybe an hour or so before he just leaves.
While her family tells me they aren't sure the cases are connected, Ford is the main witness in a capital murder case involving a former detention officer, Jarrell Wheeler. Wheeler and 3 others were charged with capital murder in connection to the death of Otis Parker in May. According to court documents, the murder was a planned robbery stemming from $1,500 that Ford and another dancer made visiting clients in Louisiana. Court documents reveal angry text messages from one of the suspects talking about Ford. That text said, quote, "She ain't safe in Houston at all." As this family awaits answers, HPD says they're following leads and won't comment because it's too early on in the investigation.
I really don't know what happened to her, but I'm hoping that she's safe and sound and that she can come home to us.
Brooke Taylor, ABC 13 Eyewitness News.
Now, as we wrap this video up, we want to send prayers to DeAndrea and her family. We're praying for a safe return home. It's an unfortunate situation, but with all the public facts presented, family, I need to know from you guys. Do you guys think this is connected? It's a coincidence? And it's kind of crazy that she would be working at the same spot that an incident happened where she's a state witness. I want you guys to let me know how you guys feel about this one in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Until then, I'll catch you guys on the next one.